Here's a number that's going to bother you. 15. That's the percentage of Claude most people are actually using. Not because the rest is hidden. Not because it's complicated. Just because nobody told them it existed. While millions of people are typing questions into a chat window and calling it, using AI, a smaller group has quietly figured something out. They've stopped asking Claude things. They've started giving Claude work. Real work. The kind that used to take entire teams. And the gap between those two groups. It's growing every single week. Today, I'm going to close that gap for you. 8 features, 4 products, 2 upgrades, and 2 workflows that most users never even discover. By the end of this, you'll know exactly which one you should start using today. Let's get into it. Quick thing before we start, because this matters. Everything I'm about to show you is real. These aren't tricks. These aren't workarounds. These are actual Claude products and capabilities, built and released by Anthropic, that most people walk right past. Here's how to think about it. Claude Chat is the front door. Most people walk through it, look around, and think that's the whole house. It's not. There are rooms behind rooms. And some of those rooms will completely change how you work. The 8 things I'm covering today break into 3 categories. 4 ways to actually use Claude. 2 add-ons that make all 4 dramatically more powerful. And 2 advanced workflows that the top 1% of users are quietly running right now. Let's start at the beginning. Feature 1, Claude Chat. The foundation. Not the finish line. You already know this one. Claude.ai, open a browser, type a question, get an answer. It works on your phone, your desktop, your tablet. Same Claude, same conversations, synced everywhere. And here's the thing, Claude Chat is genuinely excellent. For writing, for research, for thinking something through, for working out a problem out loud, it's one of the best tools ever built for that. But here's what most people miss. Claude Chat isn't the destination. It's the on-ramp. Every single feature I'm about to show you is built on top of this foundation, which means if you've been using chat and wondering why AI feels limited, it's not the AI. It's the container. The container is about to get a lot bigger. Feature 2, Claude CO Work. A 24/7 employee who actually touches your files. This is the one that changed everything for me personally. And I mean that. CoWork is a desktop app. It lives on your computer. And unlike Claude Chat, which lives in a browser window and talks about your files, CoWork can actually open them. Edit them. Save new ones. Work on your actual computer like a person sitting at your desk. Here's the shift in how to think about it. With Chat, you're asking Claude questions. With CoWork, you're giving Claude jobs. And this is built specifically for people who don't write code. That's the whole point. If you've ever thought, I wish AI could just do this instead of telling me how to do it, that's exactly what CoWork is for. Here's a real example. You tell CoWork, read through my inbox, draft responses to anything urgent, and delete the obvious junk. You walk away. You come back. It's done. Or, look at my desktop, organize every file by project, rename anything that's a mess. Or, and this is actually what I did before a trip, I told it I was going to Paris, asked it to find every outfit I needed to buy, and deliver it as a formatted PDF I could shop from. Because I genuinely hate shopping. That's not a chatbot. That's an employee. But here's where it gets even more interesting, because what if you're not at your desk? Feature 3, Dispatch. Control your desktop from your phone, from anywhere. Dispatch is the feature that's been making headlines lately, and once you understand what it actually does, you'll know why. Here's the setup. You're at a coffee shop. You're on the train. You're anywhere that's not your desk. You open the Claude app on your phone, assign a task, and CoWork picks it up at home, does the work on your actual computer with your actual files, and sends the result back to your phone when it's done. One continuous conversation. One thread. You start a task on your phone on the commute in. You follow up on your laptop when you arrive. Nothing resets. Nothing gets lost. Claude holds the whole thing together. Think about what that means for a second. You wake up, you send 3 tasks to Claude while you're still having coffee. By the time you sit down to work, it's already done. The line between working and not working just got very blurry, in the best possible way. Feature 4, Claude Code. You're a developer now. You just don't know it yet. This one always gets a reaction. Because when people hear Claude Code, they assume it's for developers. It's not, or at least, it doesn't have to be. Claude Code runs in your terminal or inside the Claude desktop app. And like Cowork, you tell it what you want. The difference is what it builds. Cowork manages files and tasks. Claude Code writes, tests, and ships real software. Here's why that matters even if you've never written a line of code in your life. I built over 150 AI agents using Claude Code, just by describing what I wanted. I didn't write the code. Claude wrote the code, caught its own bugs, tested the output, and handed me a working tool. If you can describe what you want, Claude Code can build it. Automations. Dashboards. Internal tools. Apps. Things that used to require hiring a developer and waiting 3 weeks, you can start them today. Most people skip this feature entirely because the name sounds technical. That's the exact reason to use it. But the next 2 features aren't products. They're upgrades, and they make everything so far dramatically more powerful. Feature 5, Plugins. An app store for Claude's abilities. Think of plugins the same way you think of apps on your phone. Except the phone is Claude, and the apps give it brand new superpowers. A plugin is a pre-built bundle of tools and connectors. You install it once, and Claude gains a new capability. That's it. Install a Slack plugin, Claude can read and send Slack messages. Install a design plugin, Claude can create visual assets it couldn't touch before. Install a calendar plugin, Claude can see your schedule and plan around it. Plugins work inside Cowork and Claude Code. They're not for building anything. They're for extending what Claude can already do, without you having to build the extension yourself. The catalog keeps growing. And every new plugin is a new thing Claude can do for you. Feature 6, Skills. Teach Claude once. Never explain it again. This is the feature that most people find most useful once they understand it, and the one almost nobody is using. A skill is simple. It's a folder with instructions inside. That's it. You write down exactly how you want a specific task done, your preferred format, your tone, your structure, your standards, and Claude reads those instructions every time that task comes up. You never have to explain it again.